very good morning to all the students. This video for the class 7th subject science chapter number 8, that is windstorms and cyclones. This is your lecture number 5th. So in today's lecture we are going to cover the summary of this chapter. So let's start with the first topic, air. So air is a mixture of gases. 78% of the air is nitrogen and 21% is oxygen and 1% that are other gases like carbon monoxide, argon, methane and carbon dioxide. The moving air is known as wind. Next is how the air is formed. Air is formed by the heat of the sun, or it may be said that the unequal heating of the different parts of the air that forms the wind. Next is the air exerts pressure. So the continuous physical force that is exerted on an object or against an object and something come in contact with it, it is called as pressure. So air exerts pressure in different ways under the different situations and all object and in all the direction. Air pressure helps the leaves of the trees, banners or the flags to flutter. Wind is blowing. When the wind is blowing, it causes the tires and balloons to inflate. This can be observed in our daily life in many activities, like when we fly a kite. The wind coming from the behind exerts some pressure and makes the kite fly in the sky easily, and you can feel that pressure in the string while holding it. Okay, second example is while riding a bicycle, it is difficult to ride against the direction of wind, as you can feel the pressure of air against you. Okay, so these are the example of air exerts pressure. Moving on the second topic, that is importance of air pressure. What are the importance of air pressure? So it creates wind and it influences the weather of air movement, that is downward or upward movement of air caused due to the difference in the pressures, okay, that create the cloudy and bring the rain or fine weather. Third one is the weather forecasting. The changes in air pressure gives the important clue for the weather forecasting. So these are the importance of air pressure. Next is air pressure is measured by an instrument called as barometer. So barometer, so here the bar, the unit of pressure is bar. These are the example. When we ride a bicycle against the direction of wind, boat against wind direction, or flying a kite against the direction of wind, we can feel the air pressure. So the air exerts some pressure. So these are the example of that. Next is the second topic, that high speed winds. What are the high speed winds? Firstly, high speed winds are accompanied by reduces the air pressure. Air moves from the region of higher pressure to the lower pressure. The greater the difference in pressure, the faster the air moves. More the difference in pressure, the faster the air moves. It is due to the heat of the sun, from which air becomes warm during a low pressure. Okay. Next, about the high speed wind. So the warm air rises up because it's lighter in weight, and the cool air from the surrounding moves toward the sea because cool air is heavier in weight, so it moves toward the sea. Next is the speed of that wind the speed of the wind can be measured using a tool called as anemometer. Okay, we can easily detect the wind by the help of anemometer. Next is wind currents. Firstly, to understand the wind currents, we must know what is wind and what causes winds to blow. But first is, what is wind? Wind is air that is moving across the earth. It caused by the movement of the air from one region to another region due to the difference in the temperature and air pressure. Okay, wind is the air that is moving across the earth, and it caused by the movement of air from one region to another region due to the difference in temperature and air pressure. Second is, the sun warms up the earth's surface, as you know, and this warm air expands and rises up. Okay, so as the warm air rises and the cool air from the another region moves and take up that place, so the warm air that has gone up begins to cool and start coming down. This up and down movement or cycle of rising warm air and descending cool air generate the movement of air, that is winds. Okay, next is, what causes the winds to blow? As you know, the sun warms the earth's surface, okay, or it's warm the atmosphere warms up too. Some parts of the earth receive the direct rays from the sun and so are warmer. So other places receive the indirect rays and so are colder. So the warmer air rises up than the cool air, because warmer air lighter in weights, and that's why the cool air moves in and replaces the rising warm air. Then these cool air moves in, replace the rising warm air. This movement of air is what makes the wind blow. Okay, next is, how are wind currents generated on earth? So wind currents are generated due to the uneven heating of the earth. Now let us understand the reason for uneven heating of the earth. There are two main reasons. First one is uneven heating between the equator and the poles of the earth, and second reason is the uneven heating of land and water on the earth. Now we are going to discuss the first reason, that is uneven heating between the equator and the poles of earth. First is the uneven heating between the equator and the poles of the earth. So as you know, the sun warms up the earth unevenly because the equator of the earth is nearest to the sun. Okay, so it gets maximum heat because at the equator the direct rays fall on the equator, so that's why it gets the maximum heat. So the poles being the farthest from sun get the minimum heat. So the region around the equator of earth gets heated up, okay, and warm up the air to take up that place. So the cooler air from the region 0 to 30 degree latitude present on both the side of equator, what will they do? So the wind blow toward the equator from the north and south of the earth. As the poles are coldest region, so the air is colder than at the latitude of 60 degrees. As the warm air from these latitude rises up and the cold air from the poles rushes in to take up that place. Okay, so the movement of wind or wind currents at the pole is from the poles toward the 60 degree latitude. Okay, so as you can see in this picture about the uneven heating at the equator and the poles. So here the region around the equator of the earth get heated and warm up the air. So this warm air is called as hot air. So being lighter in weight, it moves up and create a low pressure area. To take up that place, the cooler air from the region 0 to 30 degree, that is latitude belt present on the both the side of equator, moves in to take up that place. So the movement of wind or wind current 0 to 30-degree latitude is towards the equator. So the wind blows towards the equator, and in the poles region, poles are the coldest region. The air at the poles is colder than the latitude of 60 degree. Okay, so as the warm air from these latitude rises up and cold air from the poles rushes to take up that place. Okay, so the warm air from these latitude rises up and the cold air from the poles rushes to take up that place. So the movement of wind or wind current at the pole is from the poles toward the 60-degree latitude. So these wind blow from the north pole to the south pole, okay, toward the warmer region. Next is the uneven heating between the land and water on the earth. During the summers, the land gets heated faster and hot air rises up because of the lighter in weight, so it creates the low pressure on the land. So the air from the ocean rushes to the land and wind blows from the ocean towards the land. So as you can see in this picture, uneven heating of land, especially in the Rajasthan desert, that generate the monsoon wind from the southwest direction in summer. So here the land gets heated faster than water in the ocean because the air over the land rises up, because warm air are lighter in weight, so it creates the low pressure area on the land. Okay, so the air from the ocean rushes to the land, so the wind blows from the ocean towards the land region. So these winds are coming from the ocean and they are lagging with the water, so are called as monsoon wind. Okay, next is during the winter, the direction of the wind flow is reversed because the land cools down faster than the water in ocean. So the cool air from the land rushes to take up that place and wind blow from land towards the ocean in winter. So in winters, the direction of wind flow is reversed because the lands cool down in the winter. Okay, but in ocean the water is warmer, so the cool air from the land rushes to take up that place. So in winter, wind blow from the land to ocean. Next topic is storms. So far we have learned that the wind brings rains on the land, but when the wind speeds are very high, they can be very destructive also. So we will study about the three high wind phenomena here: storms, thunderstorm and cyclone. So let's start with storm. Storm is a violent disturbance of the atmosphere with strong winds and is usually accompanied by the rain, thunder and lightning. So storms are generally associated with the high speed wind because it causes the uprooting the trees, blowing rooftops, causing heavy flood producing rains and loud thunder and lightning. So in every cold region they bring heavy snowfall or blizzard condition. Okay, they are generally associated with high speed winds that cause the uprooting the tree, blowing roof, heavy flood, producing thunder, rain and lightning. Okay, next is thunderstorm. So the thunderstorm is a strong storm with a lightning and loud thunder. It is usually accompanied by the high speed wind, heavy rainfall and sometimes maybe hail. So thunder is a loud sound that is heard just a little after lightning in the sky. So why the lightning? We see the lightning before the thunder. Lightning and thunder occur at the same time, but we see the lightning before the thunder because light travel faster than the sound. Next is how thunderstorms are formed. Thunderstorms occur due to the high moisture in the wind forming cloud and rain. So the unstable warm air rising rapidly upward. So these are the two reasons for the formation of thunderstorm. First is the thunderstorm occur due to the high moisture in the winds forming cloud and rain. Second is the unstable warm air rising rapidly upward. Next is thunderstorm occur in the hot and humid tropical region. So these regions generally have the high temperature which cause winds. Okay, then the hot winds when move upward also have the water vapor within them, so which freezes and falls on the earth as a rain, as a hail. Next, the rainfall and rising air create the lightning in the air accompanied by sound, and as a result a thunderstorm occur. As you can see in this picture, now we are going to understand how the thunderstorm occur. Firstly, the thunderstorm gets formed by the uplifting of warm and humid air. So these hot air rising the temperature and produce the strong wind upward warm winds. So these wind having a lot of moisture or water droplet and forming a cloud. Okay, then they move further upward, so the water droplet condense here due to the low temperature present in the upward. Then they freeze and fall down. Okay, so the swift falling of water droplet and upward rising of unstable warm air creates the lightning and thunder, that called thunderstorm. Okay, this falling of water droplet and upward rising of unstable warm air creates the lightning and thunder, that is thunderstorm. Okay, thunderstorm can be dangerous as lightning, can cause the fire, okay, damage to building also and property. Next is the cyclones. What are the cyclones? Clouds are formed due to the water vapor in the air. So these water turn into the water vapor. This water turns into the water vapor and it takes up the heat from the atmosphere. Then the water vapor turns into the cloud. They form cloud and falls back as a raindrop, and the same heat is released back to the atmosphere. Okay, so the heat warms up the air around the raindrops and the warm air starts rising up. Next is, this leads to decreasing their pressure in the region. So the air from the surrounding takes that place of warmer air, and this cycle continues until the rain falls. So as a result of very low pressure is created, the strong winds start revolving in the low pressure region. So this is the condition of cyclone. Okay, the formation of a cyclone depend on the different factors. So first factor is the temperature of that particular place, wind speed, direction of the wind speed, and humidity of the particular place. Next is structure of the cyclone. This is the structure of cyclone, and also we can understand how the cyclone formed. First, before the cloud get formed, this water from that area picks up a lot of heat from the atmosphere. Okay, and it changes from liquid to the water vapor. So as you know, the hot air with the water vapor rises up, it reduces the air pressure. So as a result, the cold air from the surrounding area rushes to take up that place. Okay, and this cycles continue with more heat, hot air rising in the center. Okay, and cool air moving in the speed to take up that place. So this chain of event create a very low pressure in the center. Okay, so with a very high speed of a wind, it revolves around it in the center. So this condition is called as cyclone. Okay, here in cyclone, the wind speed, temperature, humidity, air pressure, these play an important role in formation of cyclone. Okay, firstly the hot air rises up, creating the low pressure. The cool air take up that place. The hot air cools and the water vapor condenses to form these clouds. Okay, so the bigger water drop in the cloud falls down on the ground as a rain, hail or snow. Falling water droplets and rising air moves vigorously to produce the thunderstorm. Under certain weather conditions, storms may develop into the cyclone. This is it about the cyclone. Okay. Next is the destruction caused by the cyclone. What are the destruction caused by cyclone? So, cyclone can result in extremely high waves in the sea or the ocean because of the low pressure. So, these waves can be 3 to 12 meter high. When these high waves hit the shore, it results in destruction of life, destruction of property of that particular place. So, the soil of the area also loses its fertility after a cyclone. So, these are the things that destruct by the cyclone. Next is the flood can appear if rainfall continues for the longer duration. If the rainfall continues for a longer duration, the flood can appear. High speed winds in the cyclone affect the telephonic communication, uprooted the trees, damages the houses and cause the loss of life also. Other name of cyclone are hurricane in American continent, typhoon in Japan and the Philippines. The another name of cyclone in Japan and Philippines is typhoon, and hurricane in American continent. Okay. Next is tornado. So, tornado is a weather condition when cloud having a dark funnel shape reaches to the ground, or tornado is a narrow, violent, rotating column of a wind. Okay. Diameter of tornado can ranges from 1 meter to the several kilometers. The tornadoes can be formed within the cyclone as well. In tornado, wind blow at the high speed of 300 km per hour. And the funnel-like shape of tornado sucks everything that comes near it at the base because of the low pressure exerted by the winds. As you can see in this picture, how the formation of tornado. So, the funnel-like shape of tornado, it sucks everything that comes near at its place. Okay, it uplifts all the things, trees, houses, because of the low pressure exerted by the wind. Okay. Next topic is protecting yourself from tornado. How you can protect yourself from a tornado? First is to protect oneself in a tornado. One should take the shelter in an underground room or without windows. Second is, if in a room with windows, so you should close the windows and hide under a table or a workbench. Next is, one should bow down on the knees, protecting their neck and head using their arms. As you can see in this picture. Next topic is safety measures for cyclone. What are the safety measures during the cyclone? There should be a cyclone forecasting services that can warn the people of a particular area that can be hit by a cyclone. Second is the speed of the wind play a major role in the predicting any calamity like a cyclone. So the speed of the wind in coastal area should be measured regularly. Okay, an anemometer is a device that can be measured the speed of the wind. Next is the warning should be communicated rapidly to all the citizens or ships that are sailing in the sea, or government agencies and fishermen as well. So along with these, cyclone shelter should be built in coastal areas and agencies should be appointed who can help the people at the time of calamity. So this is a picture of anemometer which is used to help to detect the wind speed. Next is protecting yourself during a cyclone. How you can protect yourself during a cyclone? So what you have to do, Get ready with the monitor alert and advice from emergency services. Shelter at your home. Remain inside with your emergency kitted and battery radios. If you are leaving the home, follow the evacuation plan and head to nearest emergency shelter. Then next is shut all the external doors and windows. Turn off the gas and electricity and unplug the appliances. Do not attempt to walk through water. Instead, stay in the car with the handbrake on. Gather your family and review your evacuated plan. Move the people and pets to strongest part of the house. Can't take the pets? Leave untied in laundry or bathroom with food and water. Okay, so these are the protecting measures during a cyclone. Next is advanced technology for cyclone alert. What are the advanced technologies for cyclone alert? First one is, with advanced technology, it has become easier to protect the cyclone. Okay, so day in advance, people used to get less than a day to prepare and evacuate. Now there are some facilities that are satellites and radars have made it possible to predict the cyclone ahead of time, so that appropriate precautionary measure can be taken accordingly. Okay. Generally, a cyclone watch or a cyclone alert, an alert is issued every 48 hours in advance if a storm is expected in that particular area. A cyclone warning is issued before 24 hours. This warning is then broadcast in the area after an interval of half an hour or later 1 hour. Next, the homework of lecture number 5. Now I am giving you the homework of this lecture. So you have to solve the assignment of chapter number 8, that is windstorms and cyclones, that have been uploaded on the AdQuark site. You can check this assignment from there. Okay. Thank you and have a nice day.